What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Sports Betting with Let's Get 60. I'm your host, Justin Travis, and as always, you can find me on Twitter at Let's Get 60, on the web, letsget60.com, and on pickmonitor.com, Let's Get 60. Folks, I'm going to do this in two parts. We have a 10-minute, keep these to 10 minutes. So we're going to get through as many picks as we can for the Friday and Saturday slate, and we'll do part two in just a minute. And then we'll come back and talk about Sundays and even Monday's game. I can't remember what games are on when, but right now let's focus on Thursday's slate, which is today, and then Saturday's slate going into the weekend. So just a review of my post from a couple days ago. We are looking at a few games on Thursday and Friday. Two right away here, Clemson and Texas A&M. So as you can see, Clemson, my line is at minus 45, pick monitor minus 35, my bookie minus 34.5. Had to pay the extra juice to buy the point to get under 35. The current line is minus 37. We beat the closing line value, or we beat the closing line, so we got value there. Again, guys, you can look at my last post of what I think about Clemson. I'm not going to spend any more time on breaking these games down from the past episode. Texas A&M, my line again, minus 45. Pick monitor, minus 34.5. My bookie, minus 33.5. Current line is minus 33.5. Utah, my line, minus 17. Pick monitor, minus 189. I took the money line on this game because it's a rivalry game and they're on the road. Bet online, minus 195. Current line, minus 250. Beat the closing line. And Purdue, my line, minus 17, pick monitor, minus 365, parlayed that with FSU, which we will break down a little bit later. And the current line for Purdue is minus 450, FSU minus 210. I think I got FSU at minus 190 or something when I fired on the parlay. Okay, and finally, Oklahoma State at Oregon State with the over. My line, I think they go to 75. Pick monitor, 73.5. My bookie, 73.5. Current line, 72. This makes me sad. Somebody is seeing something I'm not, but we're only a 1.5 off the closing line. You can't beat them all. We'll see what happens in this game. Okay, for the new slate here, or new picks, new game here, South Carolina versus North Carolina. Mac Brown is back. We know this, but how effective will he be? Being out of the coaching profession for so long, has he lost his touch? We don't know. I don't know. We'll see in the coming weeks. But right now, new coach, not putting a lot of stock into it. He does want to do the air raid offense. He wants to change what they've been doing, which. And North Carolina was always a good over team because they didn't play defense and they had a decent offense. So Mac Brown wants to continue with that air raid, go as up tempo as possible, but they don't have any good wideouts. So I'm not sure how the air raid is going to work this year. They're going to have to run the ball to save their defense. If they go up tempo and they can't get first downs, that defense is going to be tired early. So I think we'll see them run the ball a little bit more in the beginning of the season. I don't know how effective they'll be against South Carolina's defense. There's not a lot of depth in the secondary for North Carolina either. That could be an issue. South Carolina is a deep team with a senior quarterback. They have a very good defense. And I think this is a classic where South Carolina is just bigger in the trenches and in the skill sets than North Carolina. I think this is a mismatch here. I had this at minus 17, pick monitor at minus 7, my bookie at minus 7, paying the extra juice to get it to 7. The current line is minus 11. Okay, so we really, really got the closing line value on that. This should tell you a lot about what may happen against us in this game. Moving on, Virginia Tech at Boston College. Boston College lost a lot from last year. I mean, they lost a ton of players last year. This is going to be very, very hard for Boston College to be as competitive as they were last year. It's basically not going to happen. They want to run the ball 30, 35 times a game, but they're not going to be able to do that with this personnel. They just can't do it. They lost a lot on defense as well. Virginia Tech, they're known for their defense, and we know Bud Foster is way too good of a coach to have another drop off. They got away from the Virginia Tech ball, Beamer ball, whatever, with Foster. I think you're going to see an improved defense from Virginia Tech this year. They have a serviceable quarterback in Williams, and they're going to be more balanced with the run game because their quarterback is just game management type of player. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to win games on defense. They're going to get back to Virginia Tech football. I think this is where you have more experienced players versus less experienced players. Again, a lot of turnover in Boston College. I don't see how they're going to. I don't see how they're going to score, and I don't see how they're going to play defense. My line: Virginia Tech -10, Pick Monitor -2.5, my bookie -3 with the extra juice on -130. To get it to -3, current line -5. Again, we beat that big time. Okay. Again, this tells you what may happen in this game. Virginia Pittsburgh, another ACC matchup here. Virginia is loaded on defense, and we know defense travels well. Perkins is back at QB and is a dynamic playmaker. This guy can beat you with his arm and beat you with his legs. They're a solid team on both sides of the ball. Okay, Virginia was very good last year. They're going to be very good this year. They should win the Coastal. They should go to the ACC championship and meet Clemson. Meet, not beat, meet. Pitt must replace 2 1,000-yard rushers, 4 offensive linemen, and 12 total starters. They do have a balanced offense, but they will struggle against Virginia's defense. Virginia's defense is going to be very, very good. I had this -7 for Virginia. Pick Monitor -2.5. My bookie -2.5. Current line is -2.5. Not a lot of movement on this line. I'm not sure why. I think maybe people are scared off that Virginia has to go on the road here. I don't think it's a big deal. We may see some movement later as we get closer to Saturday, but right now it's still at -2.5. Boise State at Florida State. Boise must replace Ripon, their top rusher in Madison. That's going to be hard for them. They have a decent wideouts, and they have their O-line, but they will struggle on offense because of their quarterback situation and their running back situation. They have a new DC and a good defensive line and secondary. So Boise State is going to be okay this year in their conference, but they're not going to be okay against Florida State. Florida State hired Briles as their offensive coordinator, and this will help tremendously. He's done it in all his stops. Blackman named the starting QB. This is a great move by Florida State. Blackman's clearly the most talented quarterback that they have. Their defense is deep. And I think Florida State has something to prove this year. I think they need to go out. They're going to go out and play their best football year, game in and game out, because of such down year they had last year. Boise State, Florida State here at my line. I think Florida State beats them by 7. Pick Monitor -193. I went ahead and parlayed Purdue and Florida State at -115. The current line is -210. All right, guys. I'm going to stop here. We're just under 10 minutes. Look for part 2 or part 3, I guess, of this huge college football slate in the first official week of college football. All right, guys, we'll see you on the flip side. But until then, may all your favorites cover, and may all your dogs be live.